Take your CJ7 all the way to 11. Jeepin' with Cool Guy.
Time for Jeepin' with Cool Guy. Today we're going to start with a full door strip down. No, that ain't gonna work. Okay, so let's start with the body panel. Long screwdriver, thin head. Wedge yourself right underneath them really close. You don't want to break these things off, they're a pain in the butt. You don't want to tear them out of the cardboard backing. You go underneath, wedge yourself underneath the white part, and then you slowly edge it up. Nice and easy. You realize that this is a 40-year-old vehicle, so the fit and trim on these things were Spartan. That's what Jeeps were all about, so they don't fit super snug. They weren't designed to fit super snug. Nice and easy. Oh yeah, much better. Push up and lightly pull up with that. There you go. And then it just slides right out. These little pieces have a whole bunch of little teeth in it. And as it goes down, it kind of ratchets itself in. The door latch cover, so that we can get down to that. So there's a couple torque head bits here that I need to get out. T27. Bag and tag all this stuff. So these are all the components from the other door that I'd done previously. Also, document all this stuff. Take photographs of everything as you go along. So now we got this off. Gonna pry this nice and easy. I'm gonna have to peel off the weather stripping here. There. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I had already gone in. These were rusted out torque bolts, and I wasn't a big fan of that, so I've replaced them with stainless steel. Okay, so these screws hold in either movable or stationary side window, and also the cranking mechanism. There's one screw in here that you need to always remember to take whenever you're going to go get out. It's the one that's at the bottom of this post. It's right here. It's a 7/16, because if you don't take it out, it gets locked right in here, and then you have to figure out how to wedge the thing back in. Major pain in the butt. Learned that on the first door. This is a rusty bolt. This is one that I want to keep. So I'm just going to drop it right into my white vinegar solution, let it soak there for a day or two. So now we're going to take off the upper door panel trim. This has got 3 rivets in it, so take a nice small drill bit. All you want to do is just drill right down through the head. There, that's it. That's how easy these things are. They're old, they're aluminum. Alright, so taking all these off, and there's a nice little trim piece. Chromed out and all in good shape. Make sure that everything that you do, if it's big, label it. Next thing, let's take off the weather stripping. There's these little tiny plastic brackets that hold them in. What you want to kind of do is just go along and just lightly tear at it. Pieces should come off fairly easy. Alright, and then once you get past the door seam, or the window seam right here, it's pretty much just wedged in there, so that's a nice easy pull out. Oh, weather stripping, yay! Well, let's take this guy out, T20. So it's got one single screw. Now, this is going to be connected to, obviously, your door latch. Got the 2 pieces right here. This one's the door lock and the handle. One is the lock, the other one is the actual handle. And then this is the locking mechanism that goes into your door lock. There's a metal bracket, holding bracket on the top. It's like a retaining ring. And you want to pop that open. Just kind of work that over, and it's released. Okay? Now that's on every one of these. And then you can get it to the point where you can wedge it off the back side. Just like that. What you want to do is you want to squeeze and be able to pull that out. Now that we have those 4 out, so that one's out, that one's out, that one's out, that one's out. There's the 2 rods. Put the other rod over there. There are 2 bolts, star bolts here, still T27s. That holds this entire latching bracket in. There we go. Alright, 2 more bolts. One thing I forgot. There is a little cotter pin down here that holds the locking mechanism into place. Right there. Gotta take that out. Once you got that, then it's just a matter of just pulling these things out right through there. So again, document all this stuff because these are 2 different sizes. There's that, there's that. Once you get that cotter pin out, then you can pop that little lever off the bracket and out it comes. And there you go, all nice and, wow, that's going to be a lot of fun to clean up. There is a metal bracket down here. That is a pressure bracket that pushes up on it. All you need to do is get a screwdriver in there, wedge that out, and then push it towards the inner part of the door. Now, it's still got the glass in there, so it's probably would have been better to take the glass out earlier, but you can see how I was talking about it. Basically, it slides underneath and it pushes up on the key part. Making sure you got it all aligned, and out it comes. And bingo. Now, this is another piece that you could take off. It's got a little, I don't know what these things are called. I have to go see if I can find another one, because on the driver's side door, the thing's completely rusted through. So, this is another one of those things that you just take a screwdriver and lightly pop off. There you go. Kind of looks like a little gladiator helmet. Huh. Before you take this off, make sure the window's all the way down. There's 3 tiny screws. One here, here, and here. That's what holds the top part of this frame in. Once that's released, and you release that bolt down here, then you're pretty much free to go. So, from here, wear gloves. You can see it just pops out nice and easy. Then you want to slowly slide it forward. There you go. This is the bracket that you have to fish out of here. Small little hole. It's fairly common that a lot of the Jeeps, the older ones, have this break here because there's a support piece that goes across here. So I'm going to have to re-weld that and sand that down, but it just gives you a small little area to pull this out. And then you got your window channel. Break a piece off. Break a piece off. Break a piece off. Obviously this needs to be replaced. You get the idea. Now we need to get out the window scrapers. These are held in by a little tongue. You can go out and get yourself a body trim removal piece, or you can just use a screwdriver or a little pry piece. Just broke that one off. That one works. Okay, that was easy. Obviously I'm not going to be reusing these, so I don't really care. The thing I don't want to do is I don't want to damage the door frame. Got that angle. Fish it along. Find the next one. There we go. Little metal tab that kind of goes in at an angle. Locks itself in. There we go. The outside on this one is in a lot worse shape. I mean, the thing just, you can see what I'm talking about, just kind of breaks it apart. Yeah. Obviously that has outlived its usefulness about 20 years ago. We're going to take out the glass now. But before we do that, we need to get into here and take out the lower control arm for the glass. There's a slide in here that the crank mechanism pulls up and it slides back and forth and it's all greased up. You can just slide the control arm right down the sleeve, and then at that point then the gear, crank gear, comes disengaged and you can pull the glass out. Maybe bend the door up just a touch. There you go. Nice and easy. Alright, so that's the slide that I was telling you about. These are set in a plastic backing. You have to get a pair of needle-nose pliers to pull these out. And then we're going to pull our gear out, or our crank arm. Ah, there we go. That's easier. So there you go. Now we're going to take off the door handle. So what holds in the door handle are 2 tooth brackets. It looks like a side of a Christmas tree. But before we do that, there is another small cotter pin that connects this locking mechanism to the door handle release. Put that to the end. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Why did I even try it the other way? Pop off the locking arm out of the way. And right here is your little wire holder. I'm going to pop that up with a bigger screwdriver. Try and get that up a little bit off of that tooth. So I'm going to use a hammer and a chisel, and I'm going to give that thing just a little bit of a pop towards the top of the door. So there, just enough to set it. Then I'm going to pop that metal piece up, and you hear how it released. And try and hold that up. I'm just going to lightly tap this forward. Right, and that's it. I mean, I just popped it and it slid forward. Okay, that's all it is. The other side is the exact same. It's just underneath here. I'm going to go in from this direction. See, I'm wedging it against that tooth piece, and I've already got the tension released off of that top piece right here. And I'm just going to pop it forward. Pop it forward, and it's out. Then you pull it out from the other side. That's all that's holding it in place, I believe. Yeah, other than 40 years of rubber stuck to the side of a vehicle, right? And all you do is just push it down, slide it out. There's a rubber gasket around this thing that's going to stick in place as much as it can, because it doesn't want to let go. And there you have it. And there's your door release. Kind of cool. Right here is a little plastic piece that has teeth that fits inside of a C. So you have to figure out how to push the piece out of the C tension. So all you need to do is go in with the screwdriver right behind the past lip of the top lip of this thing, and just rotate the screwdriver and it just pops out. Wow, okay. Now I feel dumb. There you go. Couple minor things to do. We're almost done here. One is to take out the track, window track, and I'll also show you how to get out one of these little tiny plastic pieces if you want to pull them out without just totally destroying them. I know that this is probably pointless, but I'd rather have these and find out later that I need them than to destroy them and realize that I needed them. So there's your little T. There's also this rubber bumper right here. You want to push it in, not pull it out, because the inside is about that big. It's huge. Push this piece in, put the lip over the inside, press it in. Just enough to get that lip. You don't want to tear the rubber, you don't want to push it too hard. There you go. Right, so we got that. Now we're going to try and get the torque track trim out. This stuff is way past its usefulness, beyond flexible. So dry rotted that you can't do anything with it. You can't move it, can't pull on it. Okay. Got one last thing to do, and that's actually this. There are two little tiny bolts at the top here. Loosen these two guys up. Once those are done, little tiny, actually nice stainless steel screws. And there's a little piece that kind of goes in, holds it all into place, and that's your support pin. This piece goes right down into the top of this window. And then at that point, you just pivot it out, and you got your window. So you can get this all cleaned up. You can do whatever you want with it. So if you need to replace that glass, that's how you do it. Obviously I need to replace this bolt because that thing has rusted through. Let's take out the gasket. Try and find a vantage point where you can kind of get underneath this, where it's supported on both sides by a joint, and kind of break it free. And once you break it free, then you're pretty much good to go. There you go. There's a gasket. and clean. There you go. This thing looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's interesting because you think it's screwed up, but it's naturally built at a bow because the window has to go up and into the actual frame. Taking this part, you can do a couple things. You could try and get the rusty nut off, heat it up, do whatever you want. You know, play that game. I'm really not that vested in it. I think it's a 1/2 inch. Alright, so yeah, that's just turning in place. That's not going to work. So what I will do is I'm going to go take a Dremel and I'm going to cut through this bolt, being very careful not to cut the spring because the spring is actually a lot more important than the bolt is, because I can always recreate the bolt, and then that should be cleaned up. And there you have it, folks. Complete teardown of a full metal CJ7 door.